Okay, I think my streaming thing has caught up with everything. Hello, Wellbeing and Worth family. Welcome back to a delayed Wellness Wednesday. I have so many things going on. I lost track of what day it is. Wednesday was a crazy day. So I am sorry, it's a little late, but it's an important one. And I promoted it because it's the holiday time. You're going to be giving gifts and getting gifts. And I want to talk to you today about endocrine disruptors and making you a better consumer when you buy those lovely things that you give as gifts or you use yourself. So, number one, the endocrine disruptor. What? Question mark, question mark. What in the world am I talking about? And do you even know what your endocrine system is? Most people don't really get a clue. I didn't get a clue until something went wrong with my thyroid, and then I had to go see someone known as an endocrinologist. And I know many people are like that, or they're having some other kind of maybe adrenal problem, so they have to go see an endocrinologist. Look, these doctors are no joke because they have to study an enormous body system known as the endocrine system. The system is remarkable because it governs so many of the hormonal, if not all of the hormonal checks and balances that run our very complicated bodies. And the system covers your glands and organs that regulate how we grow, pituitary, how we react to stress, how we develop sexually, how we use insulin, and how we produce glucose or don't, and how we metabolize in general. Look, it works on our neural development and our behavior, sleep patterns. I mean, it is really, really responsible for so many, many things that run your body. So wouldn't it make sense to have a really good sense of how to keep the system well and working optimally? So let's talk about endocrine disruptors. Endocrine disruptors are chemicals that interfere with the regular hormone production working in your body. For instance, they can block hormones or they can mimic hormones, causing, overages, too much, or then causing situations where there's too little. And then they could affect the way they go through your body. And usually we notice that when it affects our metabolism. So where are they? Endocrine disruptors are in all kinds of everyday products. This is why it's very tricky. From the personal care products you use to wash your hair, to style it, to your cosmetics, to the chemicals we use to clean our houses, notably our bathrooms and our kitchens, to the materials that homes are built out of, right? I mean, in our schools and things that are in our offices. So they're all around. And then there are the synthetic ones that come from chemicals that come from fossil fuels, things like, either extracting them, burning them, growing them. It's a big topic. It's a big body of chemicals that affect these hormones. And there are things like food additives, pesticides, plastics, dyes. I mean, as you can see, and then wait, there are even endocrine disruptors that are phytoestrogens that are produced by plants. So they're natural and, synthetic ways that these come about. So given I gave you this really long list, it should be clear that there's input coming from all sorts of directions. And so increasingly, science and researchers are finding tons of things that are disrupting these. They're studying a lot of these endocrine disruptors and the impact they're having on our health, right? So things like infertility, girls going into puberty too soon, breast and prostate cancer seem to be very affected by endocrine disruptors. Thyroid disorders are really affected by the endocrine system. And so what's concerning too is that it doesn't take a lot of these chemicals, pesticides, dyes, colorings to wreak havoc in our systems. So your next thought to me is like, well, ANdrea, I'm exposed to them. They're everywhere. What am I supposed to do? I want to even make it a little more grave in that we are now finding children, once they're born, have high levels of these pesticides and things in their bodies because they come to their mother through the placenta. So it's not just once we get here and start breathing oxygen, it's happening in utero. So this is a significant health priority an awareness we need to have, because many of you come to me and you want to release weight, or you're having weird allergies, and we have to start with what's in your environment too. And so the more you're aware, the more you can take responsibility. You can mitigate your exposure and therefore ease and lessen your toxic load. The reason I skipped yesterday, sorry, is that I'm running a special group called Healthy Self-Care for the Holidays through Sunday. And in this group, I'm sharing alternatives to the products we regularly use that could be thwarting your health goals. If you want to join, drop me a DM and I'll message me or something like that, and I'll be glad to add you to the group. In the group, we're sharing and discussing the importance of safety, clean and effective skincare and supplements, because we use them every day. So they need to be clean so they're not adding to that burden. And so, as I mentioned earlier, it's overwhelming. Like, there's so many places that they could be coming in from. Where do you go look? And that's the other gist of this conversation, is that you need to research. And then where do you research? So to follow the data, there's some fantastic resources like the Environmental Working Group, www.ewg.org, who really have an immense database of pesticides, healthy foods, cosmetics, you name it, that really help you hone in and help you figure out where these things may be coming into your body and therefore disrupting your overall metabolic health. Similarly, there is another organization that does skincare and skin technologies in particular. It's called the Good Face Project, and it's all about everything in the beauty industry, cosmetics, you name it. And this is because those product providers are allowing this company to be a third-party scrutinizer of, yes, they're clean, to say, yep, you, the consumer, can be confident because they have allowed us to test and we've made note, and there's no economic incentive for them to fudge it, because they want us, the consumers, to be feeling safe and confident about people espousing that something is clean and something is good for the body and things like that. And we increasingly have to rely on, I believe, third-party testing to make sure that what we're consuming, you don't have to just take the word of the manufacturer or the organization saying, buy my product because it's clean. And so I really encourage you to see if the things you love are on that list. And if they're not, maybe you should buy from the list versus things that didn't make the cut. And so, in conclusion, if you're unpacking a health issue that seems really hard for you to get to the root of, and you're not able to quickly resolve the issue, one of the factors that I really want you to consider is, how are external things affecting your health, so that you can make progress in the area that you'd like to make progress in. Let's face it, our skin is our biggest organ, and it's the first line of defense to keep undesirable things out, but it's also one of the more significant ways we import stuff in that we may not want. So I want you to think of the reason why you would do this research is like you're a garden, right? We pull out the weeds so that the desired plants can grow, have ample space, food, and be beautiful and flourish. Similarly, we want to pick out those weeds from the roots, those endocrine disruptors, so that our body, the beautiful plants in the garden, can thrive. So I, as you can tell, am very passionate about helping people figure this out. So if you need help in doing this review or making sense of where to start because you're super overwhelmed, I really encourage you strongly to book a Thrive call with me to create an action plan to make 2022 a year for you to thrive and to be super, super well. And until next week, truly on Wednesday, I will see you, and I thank you so much for tuning into Wellness Wednesday with ANdrea. Take care. Bye-bye.